Hi everyone, thank you very much for clicking on the link. This video presentation has been put together specifically for pupils who are moving into or progressing through the senior phase. So those that are choosing their options for S4, 5 or 6. Firstly, when we think about picking subjects or choosing your options, there are 5 key questions that you should ask yourself. Now these have been identified by Skills Development Scotland, and you can get a bit of support with this on the My World of Work website. Firstly, how do you like to learn? By now, by this stage in your journey through school, you should have an idea of what kind of learner you are. Do you enjoy more practical subjects? Do you enjoy the classroom where you have more time for listening and discussion and writing? You should know what kind of learner you are, where you're going to be successful, and that should help inform your option choices. Where can these subjects take me? Well, that might be, if you're getting to S4, it might be about progression through the school from Nat 5 into higher, potentially even advanced higher. If you're in 6th year, you should be thinking about progression beyond school. So the subjects that you choose, how do they then transfer into college, university, or the world of work? What subjects do you enjoy? There's no secret that if you enjoy something, you tend to try a wee bit harder at it and be more committed to it and more motivated. So that should really naturally form part of your decision making. Linked to that would be what subjects that you're good at. Like I say, I think 3 and 4 would be quite closely linked because you tend to be good at the things that you enjoy because you try harder, you're more committed, more motivated, and that's where you tend to be successful across the curriculum, as you are in other aspects of life as well. And 5, what do other people think? This is something we have to be careful about because ultimately everybody has an opinion with this. And when it comes to choosing subjects, listen to parents and carers, to older siblings who have been through the process maybe more recently, aunties and uncles, friends of the family, listen to subject teachers, listen to guidance teachers, year heads. They will all give you good and sound advice, or the majority will anyway. But it's important that you take all this advice and guidance and opinions and you take that, and that should help you make a more rounded decision. It's not about choosing geography because that's what your mum and dad did. It's not about choosing history because that's what all your pals are doing. You have to make the decision that's right for you, and other people can support you in that. What happens next? Well, there's a lot to support you through the options process, even though this year it might be a wee bit trickier because things have been done remotely and you maybe don't have as much access to school as we previously had. But there are a number of things in place. So firstly, you have, along with this video presentation, you have other presentations from school staff and from our partners such as Ayrshire College, Vincent Wright from Skills Development Scotland, from My World of Work. There are other videos that you can access that will help you through the process. We will produce and issue a curriculum booklet which will give you more detail at subject level what each subject involves, what you'd be studying, the content within these topics, and also the progression. So if you do it in 4th year or 5th year, can you progress into 6th year and beyond? The flyer that we issue, which will be specific to each year group, will have all the relevant links to all the information you need to help you with your option choices. We will organise a pupil or parental drop-in session as well. This will be done most likely through Teams and the assembly teams that have been set up per year group, where you can have the chance to come in and have discussion with guidance and year heads about the wider option process. If there are things specifically that you want help or advice or guidance with, or it might be a simple quick question you're not sure about, something to do with the option form, on the flyer there will be a help link which you can click on, complete a Microsoft form, and somebody from the school will get back to you. If you require one-to-one discussion with a member of staff in school, that can also be arranged. Ultimately, we're committed to making sure you make the best possible choices, because by doing that, that will support your achievement and attainment, and we want you to be successful. And finally, out with that, there's lots of other areas that we can signpost you to that can help you through the process. I'll just mention a few of them now. In school, you've got, beyond your guidance and year heads, you've got your subject teachers who know you really well and they'll be aware of your potential within each subject, so you can speak to them about it. Websites such as My World of Work and Planet Plus are specifically designed to support career planning and career management skills. So I would urge you to go on and have a look at these and use the resources available. Look at colleges and universities and their prospectuses, and employers. Look at them directly to see what they expect. If you are in fourth year and you know what you want to apply for at university, for example, after S6, you should be choosing your subjects accordingly. But look at what the entry requirements are for the different apprenticeships or HNCs or degrees that are out there, so that you know you're picking subjects that you're going to qualify for. An issue we have, not all too common, but an issue we have sometimes is in 6th year when it comes to doing UCAS and applying for university, people realise that they don't have the necessary qualifications. So you maybe have to have a minimum of Nat 5 maths, or you need to have your higher English, and they have to go back and change their options at the last minute. So plan ahead, look ahead, and think of this as a progression through the senior phase, so that by the time you leave, at whatever stage it is, you have what you need to get into the next level of learning or work. For parents, Education Scotland have the Parent Zone, which will have resources available to support the option process, things to do with the rationale behind the curriculum and how you can support your young person. And Skills Development Scotland, as I mentioned before, Vincent Wright is based in a school. It has been for a very long time. You can request support from Vincent if you feel you need a careers guidance interview, and maybe that's a good time to start having discussions about what lies behind your option choices and what your options will be when you come to plan for leaving school. This would be a sample option sheet. It may be subject to change, so please don't start screenshotting and picking subjects, but this is what it will look like. The difference this year is, rather than shuffling lots of bits of paper with lots of different signatures on it, the options form will be emailed out to parents and it will be returned via Microsoft Forms. So it's an easy way for us to collate, and it also makes sure it's accurate and up-to-date information. We can also be sure then that the options that are made have been discussed with parents, carers and the young person, so it's a joint decision. A few things to consider when you're choosing your options: that we cannot guarantee all option choices. There are thousands of combinations across any option form, but still we will not be able to meet the needs of every individual learner. Each timetable is bespoke as it possibly can be, but we are working within timetable and constraints like every other school in the country or in the world. So please be mindful of this and make sure you have a backup plan as well. Certainly for college options, when we're talking about backup plans, you will need to choose a subject from one of the option columns as well. The reason being that just because you tick college option doesn't mean you get into that course. There are limited places. It's subject to conditional offers of attainment. It's subject to interview. College, it's been a very difficult year for them as well in terms of staff managing their courses and their online provision. So that could change as well. So if you are choosing a college option in S5 or S6, which we encourage you to do if it's the right choice for you, it's important you have a backup within school as well. Advanced higher options, some may be delivered in school, but many will be delivered as part of a consortium arrangement. So this might mean attending another school, but as it's been this year due to COVID restrictions, there are times where you're learning remotely. So basically work is set, you'll have check-ins with members of staff from other schools, but very much it'll be self-directed and learning that you have to get on with in your own time. And that's obviously specific to our 6-year learners. Oh, and I missed one. And the last thing, I'm kind of reiterating what I said the last thing there about planning ahead for the entry requirements. So make sure if you do have a clear indication of what you want to do when you leave school, that you've looked at employers as well as college and university to see what they expect in terms of qualifications to make sure you're equipped to apply. And with regards to 6th year, and it's whether you're getting into 4th, 5th, I think there's value in looking at this anyway and building towards what the 6-year experience might be. It's changed, it's evolved, it's something probably very different, but than it has been in years gone by. But the 6-year experience is something that offers far more breadth in terms of a curricular offer, but also in terms of wider achievement and leadership opportunities that are available to our young people. A lot of it lies beyond the classroom. A lot of it is down to the individual and what they need to get out of school. And it's very much a contract, because in some ways it's a chance to give something back to the school through leadership and volunteering and supporting various initiatives and programs within the school. But it's also a chance to add all these different things to your CV and to your personal statement. Very often when you're applying for college and university, there will be many others that are applying with exactly the same, if not better, qualifications than what you have. So you then need something that's going to make you stand out, make your application sit at the top of the pile. And 6 year gives you the opportunity to build up that personal statement CV. So advanced hires through the curriculum may be an option. If you've secured A's and B's in your subjects, it might be something you may wish to consider, but be mindful that they'll be delivered in school or at another South Ayrshire secondary. A school college partnership course might be available. There are ones specifically designed with 6 year in mind, so it's like online learning courses or 1 year foundation apprenticeships where you could be out of school for up to 2 days a week. So it's something you may wish to consider. The Open University delivers something called YAS, which is our Young Applicant in Schools, in Scottish Schools courses. They are at level 7, which has an equivalence to advanced higher. They don't carry the same UCAS points, but what they do give you is something else to talk about in personal statements, that you've worked your way through a university programme at first year university level. It's self-directed, you have to be motivated, you have to manage your time, and these are the skills that universities are looking for when you're applying. Work experience is something that all young people should consider at some point in the senior phase, but I would say certainly in 6 year when there's perhaps a free column or more time. So it may be volunteering afternoons at charity shops, volunteering for a whole day at another local school, a primary school. It might be supporting or supported learning centre or volunteering in PE within school. So think about what that work experience might look like. Various volunteering offers where you can pick up the Saltire Award or work towards Duke of Edinburgh, but there are lots of volunteering opportunities that we can help find for you or that you can find on your own. There are leadership awards such as the SQA Level 6 Leadership Award, Music Leader, Sports Leader. There are lots of opportunities for this across the school, so it's about picking the one that's right for you and using the time well. And for pupils living DSLs 1 to 4, there are programmes offered by the University of Glasgow such as Reach and Access, and this is about their widening participation programme. And on successful completion of them, it can often reduce the entry requirements to get into university, and it also gives you experience of learning at university through tutorials and working with lecturers and completing assignments and starting to realise how that's a wee bit different from what you're used to in school. And finally, we have our mentoring programme. Mrs. Ingalls has organised that for many years in the school. It may be something you've benefited from as you come through the school, and now it's a chance to give something back. And also the buddying programme, which supports the P7 transition. So that concludes this presentation. It's fairly full and lots of information in there. If there is anything you feel that is missing or you wish to discuss further, then you can contact us in school. But in the meantime, we hope this information will have been helpful and will support you in making positive option choices through the senior phase. Thank you.